Hey guys, I just got done on a fire chat that's going to be done on Patreon. I believe it's going to be shown on YouTube and in a lot of different places. Now, I curse a lot, so they're going to be bleeping me. They may even throw this thing off the air. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but I'm going to, edit it. So you're going to see this on YouTube, what I did this morning with the fire chat. And if you want to hear the uncensored, real thing, word for word, no, um, go to Patreon, and you can hear the entire, my opinion of the case, all of that stuff, uncensored, uncut, untouched. Probably I made some mistakes because I always fuck up my words. That's being left there. You're going to hear it all. Hey guys, listen, I had my crew working today for the fireside chat, and I said something came up with me, and I really put it on the side, and I wanted to have this kind of a conversation. I put out a thing about Alec Baldwin, how I felt, and I got a lot of feedback. People saying he's guilty, people saying he's not guilty, and I read them for a couple of hours, reading comments and stuff like that. So I want to talk about that today. I want to have a little bit of a discussion, and some things I'm going to talk about because of my Mafia background, my ability with guns and stuff like that. And I even acted in the Salvatore, and I shot people in the picture, and I'm going to work on another one now, just talking about it with a few people, some new employees and some people I'm working with, and I'm going to be shooting people in that thing. So I really feel that I should talk about this a little bit, and I actually like to have your advice. I'm talking to you. I don't want it to be a one-way conversation. It usually is. And then I say goodbye. But if you guys comment back to me one way or another, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. So this is more like a fireside chat, I feel. If you want me to follow this case as it goes along. So I'm going to tell you what I know and what I don't know about this situation. I know Alec Baldwin. I did an interview with him. We did it. We edited it. It's in the can. It's going to come out in March when I open up my new, website and stuff. I've been talking about that. That's one of the things that's going to come out in March. I put one out this morning about my feelings about it, and I've heard all kinds of sides to it. Now, I don't want my personal feelings, so I like the guy, but that's not why I'm deciding whether he's guilty or innocent or anything like that. I look at the facts. Now, I've been dealing with cases and going to prison all my life, and I analyzed different cases. When I was in prison, I watched the OJ case from start to finish, and I have great opinions on that. I don't think there's much of an opinion that he did it, but I'm not going to discuss that today, and I don't even want to discuss it. But anyway, let me get back to this, is that he's on a set. Now, there's a guy who owns an armory, and his daughter, who is very familiar with weapons and grew up about it, bragging about it, she is hired to come on the set from, these are facts I know, and she's supposed to check the weapons. So now let me explain what the weapon is. It's a gun. It's a real gun, and it's filled with blanks. Now, here's the difference. We all know what the back of the bullet looks like, that big gold or silver case. Inside that case is powder. On the front, that pointy thing, it's a piece of lead, pointy. That's what actually comes out. That little case stays in the gun. There's a hammer with a thing on it. When they pull the trigger and that thing goes forward, it hits that thing, and that case with the powder explodes. The explosion sends the lead bullet out at tremendous speeds, hits the person, and whatever, or the target, whatever they're aiming at. The difference is that the blank, instead of having that piece of lead, it has a pointy little, usually a red or a very colorful piece of plastic, thin plastic. And the same thing, you pull the trigger, the hammer goes forward, it hits that case, it explodes, and it pushes that piece of plastic out. But the explosion actually burns and almost dissolves that little plastic thing that it's pushing out. So you hear the noise, you could see something coming from the front of the barrel. It's not a bullet, it's just a piece of plastic, and it melts. If you're real close, you could hurt somebody. I don't think you can kill them, but you could hurt somebody with the plastic. But at a distance, 6, 8, 10 feet, whatever it may be, I'm not a pro at that. It's so dissolved, you may feel a little wind, and you may get hit with a couple of tiny little pieces of plastic that doesn't really hurt you. It may, sting you a little bit, but it won't penetrate your skin. Somehow or another, this thing is loaded with blanks, and it has one real bullet in it. So from what I hear, they're doing the shoot on the set, and Alec has the gun, and he points it and shoots it or whatever he does, and all of a sudden, a woman is hit. She goes down. She's a cinematographer. She's not even an actress. She's not on the set. She's away from the set. And screaming and hollering and people running there. He runs over. Oh, my God, what happened? Now, at this point, she's down. She's hit. And he's in shock. Later on, they're saying he's guilty because he lied, that he said he didn't pull the trigger. And obviously, he pulled the trigger. There's a video or whatever. He didn't lie. What it is that, in my opinion, he's in total shock. Like, this is a movie. He's been in dozens of them. He's an actor. What the fuck did happen? What did I do? So he's saying, I didn't do it. Not that he didn't pull the trigger, but he had, I think, now this is better for doctors and psychiatrists or psychologists, he had a slight mental breakdown. You could see him on the set. He's literally in tears. Now, I've done murders. I'm acting a little bit. I'm working on another one where I'll be shooting a gun. Now, if I pulled the trigger, aiming at the person, and all of a sudden they just fell with blood, I would be in total shock. And I'm used to guns, and I'm used to violence. I would be, because that's not what I wanted to do. And I don't know why Hollywood don't use this hot death as a thing to change the rules in Hollywood. You could have guns like that. They look like a real gun. It feels like a real gun. It doesn't hurt anybody unless I hit you on the head with it. There's no reason to have a real gun with blanks and all that people have to check. This cannot shoot. Now, when I did the filming, my parole officer came down, looked at it, took pictures of it, so I was okay to use it. It's literally a toy. They make it look so good, it looks real, and it's got weight to it and everything else. So anyway, why can't they do that? And there was even people on my set that, not for the gun, but there was a nurse, there was people. If something happened, you know, not even if you had a heart attack. I'm not talking about any kind of violence, but a heart attack or something. There was people right there to help you. I'm sure there was some people there, but she was shot. I think they said she died on the way to the hospital. I'm not sure. But if you guys are looking at it in a different way, because a lot of you guys say he's guilty, all right, you're my people. And I respect your opinions, but send me down some messages. What's your opinion of how is he guilty? Why is he guilty? Now, don't go by his history that he's a little bit of a tough guy. He had arguments with some photographers and people breaking his chops. I mean, don't go by anything other than what happened in the thing. And leave aside whether you like him personally or not. That's always the important thing. You know, I've been in and out of courts, like I said, all my life. And I've seen cases that are so exaggerated that it's ridiculous. I've been in prison 22 years of my life. I've talked to so many guys who would come over to me and, Sammy, what are you doing? Nothing. Could you come in? We have a cup of coffee and shoot the shit a little bit? Yeah. And I would go in, I'd listen to their case. They would talk to me about the case. I would tell them, bro, I'm not a lawyer, but it doesn't matter with the law. You know, it doesn't matter. Truth don't really matter either. It's what they're saying. You're going to fight certain things. You're going to get some guy who's ratting on you. I mean, if he's telling the truth, it's a little bit of a problem. But if he's not telling the truth, that's a problem too, because it's hard to fight back. It's very, very hard to. The cases are so powerful. What do you mean, Sammy? But do you have money or are you broke? No, I'm broke. I was talking with a black guy this day. I'm broke. But I got a legal aid, a court-appointed lawyer. I said, all right. Then consider this. A lawyer could make $200,000 and above in any firm, and any kind of halfway decent shit-ass lawyer. Your guy's making $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. Why would he go to this job? Why does he want to make $100,000 less than? Why would he want to do that? There's some people who are good Samaritans and they want to do that, crusaders, and they're pretty decent. You might get one, but the odds of you getting one is not there. So you're going to get a shit lawyer. That's number one. Should be an ambulance chaser. Against the government, probably there's 3 or 4 lawyers consulting with each other, good lawyers, on how they're going to send you to prison. So your lawyer's against 4 real quality lawyers. Government don't hire shit lawyers. Number one. You're going to get an investigator. The investigator is probably some drunken bum who's an ex-cop, and now he's an investigator. He has trouble finding the garage key or get out of the garage. Sometimes he hit the car, he didn't open the garage door. He's a fucking idiot. Who does the government have as their investigators? The FBI. So your drunken ass guy is your investigator. They have the whole FBI. Starting to sound like you can't win? Yes, you're depressing the shit out of me. I'm giving you the facts, bro. What you got to do is talk to your lawyer and see if you could take a plea. Unless you're 1,000% innocent, then I guess try and fight it. Because I would hate to admit to something I didn't do. But even at times, there's reasons why I did. In my ecstasy case, I admitted things I didn't even do, but I was trying to help my family get out of trouble. Or I wouldn't have done it. I was facing time in the Iceman case, and they offered me a plea to do 20 years running together with my federal times. I wouldn't have did one day to admit. And I said, no, no, I'm not admitting to this. I didn't do it. I'm not. That's a story for another day. I got a huge story with that coming up. But, you know, a choke on saying I did something that I didn't do. So my advice to you is try to take a plea, and you can get a lower sentence. If you don't plea out and you go take them to trial and you lose, you're probably going to get the max, which is a lot more time. And you're probably going to lose because that's what you're up against. So this is the same thing I'm saying. This is why I take this case with the Baldwin, I'll call it, case. And I'm going to follow this case because I do have an interest in it. I have a friendship with him, and I would like to watch the whole thing and see how it plays out, what it does, what they do, the prosecutors do, to see if this wasn't a fucking propped up publicity stunt by the government or the state, whoever indicted him. And maybe I'll be wrong. I don't know. But one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to jump to conclusions that he's guilty for some of the reasons I said. And I don't want to say he's not guilty because he's my friend. I consider him a friend. I don't know what he thinks of me, but I don't want to do that either. And I wouldn't do that. If I really considered him a friend and I thought he was guilty, I would just shut my fucking mouth. But I'm willing to discuss it with you guys. And I was willing, very willing, that if you send me some messages, you send me a whole bunch on the video I put out, send me some more messages and we can talk about it. Tell me if you want me to follow this case, and I'll follow it. I'll actually hire somebody in the court, wherever it goes. I'll have them there with recorders, pads, take notes, and try to find out every day what happens. And whatever happens in there, I'll report it to you. Not the news media, not the prosecutors. I will tell you what happened, and we can discuss it. Not what they write in the papers. And again, you know, the papers I have, I'm annoyed with these people. But here's what happens with the papers. When I was in and going on trial in the Gotti case, and I was a witness, at the end of the day, I was on the stand 9 days. At the end of the day, I went to a military base. That's where they took me. And I would go to sleep, exhausted. It's not easy taking a stand all day long. I was exhausted. The next day, they'd make breakfast for me. Bullshit, ham and egg sandwich or something, cup of coffee, and a glass of juice. And while they had all kinds of newspapers about what happened the day before. And I would read some of the papers. So I called this agent over. I said, listen, come here. Do me a favor, come here. I said, read this paragraph in this newspaper. So he read it. I said, see that part where they're saying I said X, Y, Z. Did I say that? Understand? You know, I was nervous or whatever. Maybe I said it. Did I say that? No, Sammy. No, absolutely not. We have recordings. We have everything. He said, you got to get thick skin. It was the first time I ever took a stand in a case. The newspapers print what they want to print. There's no check and balance with these people. And some writers, they want to write an article. They want their name on it. They want to blow it up a little bit. So you're not going to read everything. It's not that they're lying. They exaggerate. They want to make the article look better, sound better. They want people to read their article because a ton of people are going to be writing things, and there'll be a little controversy. And there's no check and balance. There's nothing you can do about it. Just something you got to get used to. I never forgot that. So whatever is being said by the media, by people who dislike him or like him or whatever is going on. It's hard to know the truth. I always go, I want to know the truth, what happened, whether you're my friend and you did something, I may sympathize with you. I may even agree with you why you did it, but you're guilty. So I'll follow this case, even if it costs me some money, and I send people out, and monitor it. Like I said, I watched the OJ case from prison, and I watched the entire case. So all of you guys who want to text me, give me messages, ask me questions about this, I'm interested in doing that with you guys. And I took my story I was going to do today and I put it on the back burner for another day. And we'll have another fire chat and we'll do that. So I think I'm basically coming to a conclusion. You probably want to go get your own coffee. I got mine. So where's my gun? I'm not going to just say adios. I'm going to say adios.